Hi, my name is Leke, and I wrote 5 papers in my ICAN skills exam in one diet, and I passed all. And the following diet, I wrote 5 professional papers, and I passed all. And I will be sharing with you how I passed those exams and how I studied to become an ICAN Prize winner. And my study approach, I call it the back to front approach, and this is how I use this method to study. Before I start reading, before I go into the materials and look at the topics, I start with the past questions, and for one reason, not to forecast. Forecasting for study has always been risky, and I don't advise people to do it. However, I start there for one reason. I'm writing this exam for a purpose. Of course, the institute wants to administer knowledge, make sure I understand or have basic understanding of some certain concepts. However, I need to prove to the institute that I possess this knowledge. And how I am going to do that is to excel at the exam. So I must remember as I pursue the knowledge and understanding that I have a goal in mind, and that goal is to answer exam questions. And I don't forget that as I study. I start from the past questions. The past questions alone without the solutions. Now, this sounds absurd. Why are you going through a past question without a solution? Why are you even going through a past question without even opening the course content? You won't be able to answer the question. Obviously, I won't be able to answer, but I start there, and this is why. The reason is, as I study, I want to think or begin to think like the examiners think. And so when I get into study, I'm able to intensify or focus on the things I should focus on. I give you an example. You want to take an exam, and say mathematics exam. You know, based on the most mathematics tests or assessments you've taken, that you are going to compute. So when you pick up that mathematics textbook and you're learning something like say algebra, and you have something like, oh, algebra is this, is a method of this, the advantages of algebra is this, and stuff. You read through them, but you know that, well, I should not spend so much time memorizing all these theories, because especially a day or two to the assessment, because I will be needed to compute. So that is why I do that. So I go to the past question for the past 10 exams, from the latest exam to the oldest exam. That's how I go through. So let's say this is 2023. I'll start with 2022, but then move to 21, then 2020, and so on. So what am I doing? I would read the questions, and and copying them out. Not totally, of course, there will be case studies and complex numbers. You can write all of that, but I write the requirements. Say in 2022, this course, question 1 was compute this. Question 1B was create this. Question 1C was explain this. Question 2A was list this. Question 3A was compute this. Question 4 was, I do all of that for 10 exam, and it takes me roughly 4 hours to complete that. I don't bother looking at the solutions because, of course, I have not studied. I'm just about to start studying. Now, that sort of broadens my scope and gives me a more detailed view about the course and the exam. Then I start studying. Now, the beauty of this is, when I begin to study, my brain has already seen the questions for the past 10 years. So when it sees a topic that is familiar again, you remember, wait. And that's why I also write it down, because I check it at intervals. Remember, well, this is the topic that I saw in all 10 exams that I examined, or all 10 exams that I analyzed or read through. Wow, this topic must be important. I should probably read it very, very well. Or if you say a topic and you're like, but I've not seen this before. For 10 exams, the examiners did not bother to check this or examine this. Well, I'll go through it, of course, because it's not good to forecast, but maybe I would spend more time with the things that I've seen in the past 10 years. So that sort of just gives me a broad view, a wide scope on the exam. And so I begin to study after that analysis. So the first week of my study, that's what I'm doing, just reading through the questions alone, writing them down. And of course, you won't understand because you are yet to study, you are yet to read, you're just checking the past questions. And that is where I start my study from. Afterwards, I have done that, and after I've done the analysis, I begin to study, move from topic 1, topic 2, topic 3. And how I study is I study all through the recommended text, which is the ICAN pack. But however, I study different parts at different intensities. So there's this topic that has been examined for the past. I checked 10 exams. I saw that they examined a particular topic 10 times in those 10 exams. I know I need to read this very well. I need to probably memorize. I need to understand this very well, and so on and so forth. So that method sort of helps me know how to spend my effort, how to use my time on topics. And now, this is not to, I don't forecast, say, okay, I've gone through the 10 years now. I've seen that these are the topics I want to do. These are the only topics I'm going to read. It is very risky. However, I make the analysis, write it out to help me know what to focus on, especially as the exam gets closer. And that is like rough approach. That's how I approach most of my courses. Then, of course, very important, start reading on time. Need enough time to, especially if you're writing a lot of papers, 2, 3, 4, you need a lot of time. Start early to really help you, and all those other things, discipline, consistency, all those other things. But that's just how I study. Check past question, past 10 exams. Study how the requirements of those questions. Then I go into my books. That is how that is my study approach. I really hope it helps you as you continue your journey to write your ICAN exams.